In 2015, Will Smith starred in the movie Concussion, playing Dr. Ben Almalu, the famous pathologist who found the degenerative brain disease CTE in former Steelers center Mike Webster. But unusually the topic on CTE is brought up, we usually bring up players like Dave Dearson, Junior Seau, and Aaron Hernandez. All but once former high school football players that started to develop the disease that eventually take their life.
A human being will get concussed at 60 Gs. A common head-to-head contact on a football field, 100 Gs.
Crown Point athletic trainer Trent Trump deals with every concussion suffered by a CP athlete. He also gives an impact test to the kids recovering from concussions.
I think that kids are, at the high school level, kind of emulate what the college players do, and what college players do, they emulate what the professionals do.
David Hall played football at North Justin High School and at Ball State University. And after his playing days, he covered the Notre Dame football team and now covers the Chicago Bears for the Chicago Tribune.
My favorite player growing up was Gary Fensick for the Bears. I was a defensive back who thought that he was, tackled in the way that people tackled in those days. You lead with your head, and you had to if you're a physical player.
This is John Yurkovich, former defensive lineman for the Packers, Jaguars, and Browns. We sat with Yurkovich about the controversy on football and head injuries.
If you had a soft melon, which is if you were susceptible to concussions and you get headaches and you couldn't play, you'd be light sensitive or something like that, you were out of the league. And you knew it. You've seen it happen to a guy, and then the next thing you know, that guy can't play anymore. And that's it, and he's done.
Crown Point current athletic director Bill DeRula played linebacker for Andrean High School and then went to Franklin College to continue his football career.
No matter what you put on someone's head, it's not going to protect them from a concussion.
David Warney played wide receiver for the Bulldogs and graduated with the class of '96, while being an all-seat wide receiver and was the 1995 Crown Point MVP. Warney now owns one of Crown Point's favorite restaurants, Station 21, and is the Crown Point School Board president.
They're natural weapons to football players. We've all heard, football players treat the helmets, when they put them on their head, as if it's a weapon and they can attack with it and lead with their head. And so, yes, making them safer is a good thing, but it just continues to add that security to use my head as a weapon. We see it all the time.
Football helmets are awesome, and ultimately a lot of people think that there's a concussion-proof helmet and stuff like that. That's not the case. Football helmets are designed for one thing, and that is to prevent skull fractures. And in all of the years I've been here, we have never had a skull fracture. We've had multiple concussions, but we've never had a skull fracture.
Anybody that played football over the course of time, whenever you had your first, any type of trauma with your helmet-to-helmet contact theoretically is a concussive force on your head. So if over the course of time, say it's a degenerative disease, and over the course of time, every time you hit, say you've got 50,000 hits in your brain. Well, the first day you take your first hit is the start of the process.
Zach Easter, a former high school football player, shot and killed himself at the age of 24. Later on, he was diagnosed with a severe case of CTE.
You're like, well, there goes another one. There goes another one. And, how does it stop? When does it stop? Why does it stop? I don't know if it ever does. Who's responsible? Is an individual responsible for his own health and for his own well-being? Or does he put his health and well-being in the hands of medical professionals and or, organizations that in theory are supposed to protect them? Or is the only person that can protect you yourself?
Sports are dangerous. It needs to be. We can't ignore how players are bigger, faster, stronger. People have to relearn how to tackle. They're gonna have to relearn what to reward in terms of the oohs and the ahs. You're not gonna get every big hit. You're gonna have to learn to stop complaining about roughing the passer penalties. That's protecting the quarterback. You've got to protect players. It's gradual. It will evolve. The game will change, but football is still worth saving.